Hello everybody. So this is just a little update about my, if you want to call it, spiritual journey, if you want to call it my healing path, if you want to call it my ascension, my growth into my most successful, most powerful self. You can call it any of those things. And a big revelation for me the last couple months was that a lot of my drive to be better was coming from self-attack and self-shaming. And once I realized that I was seeking comfort in attacking myself, I was seeking comfort in shaming myself. There was like a sickly pleasure to it, almost like, you know, what you feel from drinking too much. There's a pleasure, but you fucking feel sick. And so I committed to stop doing that because I realized, you know, the self-attack and the self-shaming was bullshit. It was just this sick, perverse sort of like, you know, self-pleasure mechanism, and I shouldn't completely deny all of its value, because everything has value. That doesn't mean it has the most value in a particular situation, but it helped us earlier in our lives, for sure. So, yeah, I realized the self-shaming and the self-attack was me sort of like hiding under a blanket. It was like being a little kid, like hiding under a little security blanket, and you know, you're like so scared of the world, and you're just like, you know, is it safe to come out? And you're like, no. And then your mom or dad comes in the room and they're like, you want to come out? Like, dinner's ready. And you're like, no, I don't want to come out. No. No, 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 no. And this actually happened to me yesterday. No, I'm kidding. So we're under that blanket, right? And it's just like, and there's a pleasure to being under the blanket, but there's so much more pleasure waiting for you for going back out and like playing with the other kids who are waiting for you outside, you know? Even though it may be like sort of scary and there's like social anxiety and whatever, you know? There's excitement over there. There's the potential for so much more pleasure than like that small little comfort of being under the blanket, right? And so ever since I committed to stop self-attacking and self-shaming, because of the realization that it was no longer serving me, and it was like perversely like holding me back and reinforcing this small man narrative, this like, you know, this like, oh, I deserve this type of treatment, that's why everything's so bad, because I deserve it. I deserve it. Oh, it's because I'm bad. That's why. It's because I'm bad. The secret fear was right. It's because there's something wrong with me. There's something deeply wrong. I knew it all along. There was just something not right that everyone else had, but I didn't. Oh, nothing can ever be different because it's inherently just, oh, there's nothing to be done, nothing to be done, nothing to be done. Oh. I'm really enjoying this. Oh my God. I'm enjoying this much more than the content of the video. Oh my God, that's funny. Okay, so, let's see. So ever since I committed to stopping the self-attack and the self-shame, you know, when it would come up, and so much conditioning of it in me, so it would come up over and over again, you know, the dark of the night, and like I start to feel it creep up, I start to feel it wash, I start to feel like my body locked down from like the, like that familiar, like sickly sort of like shame blanket, like that heavy fog of that depression, shame blanket, self-attack, smallness, and, man, so layer by layer, as I've been letting it go as it arises, and like committing to just standing in like presence and truth and letting it all fall away as a result of like me standing in my light and my brightness, an interesting effect has occurred. you know, before I was motivated to do things from a place of fear of not enoughness, self-attack, shame. And so letting go of those primary drivers, you know, I thought them being gone, I would just be left with like, what? Now I just want to do cool stuff. I'm just motivated from a place of inspiration, right? Like, I just want to do cool things with my friends. I just want to do hoorah shit with my friends. And I'm so old. That meme, oh God, I'm dating myself, because the meme is so old. No, but I thought it was gonna leave me with like a only desire, but what I felt it left me with was nothing. Nothing. I was just laying there and I was just completely almost like catatonic. I was like, oh, now I don't feel the selfish shame and self-attack, and I'm just like, and I feel my body still in freeze, but it wasn't uncomfortable. It's like that freeze that happens, you know, when like a mother cat picks up the baby cat from the back of the neck on the skin and it just hangs there limp. And it's pleasurable for that cat to be like so catatonic like that. Catatonic. Cat. That was on purpose. So, God, I'm a dork. Okay. So, so yeah, it left me with nothing, just like sitting there in freeze, like no inspiration. Now there just wasn't that external pressure. And so that's where I'm sort of in this transition space. Maybe it won't transition, maybe it'll stay the same. I'm sure it will though. But it's like, now that that's not driving me, I thought I'd be filled with desire, but I'm not. So it's interesting. So it comes to me, you know, like I think about like the success I want and wanting to be able to help people and heal people and influence the world to be better, and, you know, and just like improve the emotional health of people and help people relax and help people enjoy their lives, you know, and like, and share with them the things that I've learned, and, you know, party more and connect more and socialize more, because I've been in like a cocoon for like 3 years, like going through this stuff like intensely. Spending a lot of time alone, like figuring it out, you know, soul searching and healing, processing. And then the question really comes when I'm like catatonic like that, not moving and not desiring, and like sort of in a state of comfortable apathy. And the question comes to mind is like, do you really want all of that stuff? Or honestly, do you want to just like be really comfortable and just like not really do anything, and like not like, you know, take any risks and not feel the fear associated with like, you know, taking a risk to do cool things, and maybe you get laughed at, you know, maybe you get shamed, maybe you get attacked by haters, and maybe some of the haters are right, you know? And so yeah, the whole idea of this video is just to like give an honest expression of like where I am in my journey. And I don't know, I'm just curious if like any of y'all have been through a similar thing. It's like when you let go of that pressure to like be, or that pressure to not be not enough, where do you go from there? And really it's testing my want. Like all the shame I'm finding has to be replaced from pure desire and want. And like I'm given the choice right now, like, to choose whether I want, whether I want to like have more excitement, or just have like fucking super like, you know, like small under the blanket comfort. No one's attacking me to come out from the blanket anymore. But that's where I'm left with, and it's been really interesting, I guess. It's just, man. It's like, how bad do I really want it? I had a dream like that the other night. It was like, I think I was Louis C.K. or something, and I was like laying down on like some sort of pedestal, like the one that Juliet from Romeo and Juliet was laying on, you know, like all like with the sunlight coming through and shit. And he asked me like 3 questions. And And like I was sort of him, but he was also asking me them. I didn't understand exactly. Like he was my fucking angel spirit guide or something. And he said, you know, how much are you willing to sacrifice and how much do you really want it? And so I'm being tested on that. It's like, there's a fork in the road. Like, should I just stay comfortable? And like, that's fine. Oh, that's cool. Stay comfortable. Fuck it. What do you really owe to anyone? Or do you really like want to go further now? Now that you're climbing out of the hole, now do you want to start building a structure? Now do you want to start building a superstructure, or are you chill with your grass hut on the beach, you know, eating a couple coconuts here and there? And it's like wanting is risky. Desiring is risky, you know? So I don't know. So right now, my healthy edge, what I'm pushing against is like, I'm sitting there like practicing like building want energy, desire energy. Like, yeah, like I want that. Like I want that. 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 Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's like rebuilding that energy of a little kid, like getting excited for wanting to do something, right? It's like, I want to go to the water park. Yeah, I want it. 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 And like, how many people are truly motivated nowadays, you know, when you're an adult? From like that place, so like, yeah, 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 yeah. Instead of like, well, I gotta do this, I guess, so I'm not a fucking piece of shit. Oh. So I don't know. So I'm curious if any of you watching have experienced a similar thing. What do you think about like want and ambition versus just having a small, comfortable life? And just wanting comfort. Like, do you think there's an obligation to try to want more? I'm really curious on people's thoughts. You know, I'm at a fork in the road, and I'm gonna lean into wanting, for sure. And then like pushing that edge. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Like, subscribe, hit the bell. I'm curious. This is what I'm wading in right now. This is my pool. So, this is your boy Johnny Wild, Johnny Armstead, whatever you want to call me, and out.